What's the best thing about Persona 5X right now? Well, it's finally going global. And the worst thing about it is that it forgot to invite half the globe. Persona 5 Phantom X is finally coming out worldwide, except if you live in Southeast Asia, where the game is still not available for pre-registration. And rumor has it is that Noctua Games is handling the server for that region. Oh gosh, the horror. So while fans are still on the edge, whether or not to sully their dignity and play a gacha slop, I'm here to break down the best and worst parts of Persona 5X, to help you decide if you will cave, play it, then swear it never happened. Because no matter how often people claim Persona 5X is the most generous game ever, it doesn't erase the fact that it's still a gacha game. And quite frankly, it's fair for people to be cautious. Gacha games are notorious for exploiting players' fear of missing out on the limited character banners. They often drown you in confusing premium currencies, making it difficult to track what you've earned, and more importantly, what you've spent. Not to mention the grueling hours you'll have to commit daily for a single pool. Yes, P5X is generous, but it still carries all the baggage that comes with it being a gacha game. But hey, at least this time it will keep us busy while waiting for Persona 6. What's that? Persona 4 Remake is coming first? Yeah, fine. It's been 10 years since we've milked that one dry anyway. Now here are the best and worst things about Persona 5 Phantom X. But before that though, if you're excited to play as Wonder, then like this video and join Atako the Fine for more Persona content. Let's address the biggest concerns surrounding Persona 5X. It's a gacha game. For some players, that alone is a deal breaker, and honestly, that hesitation is completely valid. From spending real money just to get a character you want, to the incessant nasty behaviors that some gacha devs pull to scum their player base, like raising PTs or even manipulating the pull rate itself. With that said, even though Persona 5X is a gacha game, it doesn't stoop to shady practices. In fact, P5X did the complete opposite. It improved its pity system by introducing a 100% guaranteed banner that's almost unheard of in the gacha world. P5X has two methods in getting the featured character: a 50-50 banner that guarantees a 5-star character after 80 pulls, and a 100% guarantee banner where you're assured to get a featured 5-star character within 110 pulls, with no surprises that you lost your PT to Yanjing. Wait, why you're here? And like most gacha games, P5X features signature weapons for each character, and these are available on a separate weapon banner that runs alongside the characters. At first glance, the weapon banner's 50-50 system might seem rough, but the pull cost is actually lower than the character banners, making it more accessible. What makes it better is the ability to choose two weapons you'd prefer to lose your 50-50 onto. So for instance, if you somehow miss out on Anne's signature weapon, but you're pulling on Makoto's weapon banner, you can set her weapon as one of your losing picks, meaning that even if you lose the 50-50, you're still getting something you actually want or need. Now diving deeper to P5X being generous, this is both true and an understatement. Most gacha games practically require you to buy a $5 monthly pass to a $10 battle pass just to have a realistic shot at pulling limited characters. But in Persona 5X, it's actually entirely possible to collect all premium 5 stars while staying completely free to play, which is absolutely wild. You can get pulls in chests, daily activities, and tasks provide full currency. Events and endgame are also very generous. The entire pool economy in this game is thriving. However, even the most generous gacha game is still a gacha game at its core, so always spend carefully. Additionally, since it's still unclear whether or not the global version will match the generosity of the Chinese and Korean version, it's best to keep your expectations in check. And again, the whole reason why people are excited to play this game, it's because it's another Persona title. Which is the best thing about Persona 5X, is that it is as Persona as it can get. But that in turn actually hurt its quality in the beginning, since P5X attempts to replicate the success of Persona 5's opening arc. Its reliance on familiar tropes without matching the original's emotional depth or creativity results in a diluted experience. Kamoshida's Palace benefits from its role as a narrative cornerstone, establishing themes and character motivations that ripple through the entire game. P5X, on the other hand, as a spin-off, struggles to escape the shadow of its predecessor. That said, the later story arcs are not just rehashes of past P5 villains. The developers clearly listened to the feedback about the weak opening and brought in one of the writers from Persona 5 Royal, Yusuke Nitta. The improvements are both impressive and expected. While not reaching the heights of mainline Persona titles, the writing now matches the quality of spin-offs like Strikers, the PQ Labyrinths, and Arena. Fans of those games will likely appreciate P5X's later arcs, particularly the Third Palace. Now, how about the other side of what truly makes the Persona series great? The combat. One of the best things about Persona 5X turn-based system is how closely it sticks to the classic formula. You've got the one more system, hit an enemy's weakness, and you get an extra turn. Baton Pass is also here, letting you smoothly switch between teammates to chain knockdowns, but they turn this into a flashy follow-up attack. And of course, the all-out attack returns as a stylish, satisfying payoff, complete with unique victory screens for each character. What really makes Persona 5X combat stand out is its own unique twist on the formula. Unlike the mainline games where personas level up and learn new skills, each character in P5X comes with a fixed active and passive skills. This adds a layer of planning and identity to every party member. They are also divided into different types of units, from an AoE and single-target DPS, debuffers, and even tanks. Navigators also play a more active role, similar to how they function in the Persona Q games. They have unique support skills and passives that you can trigger under specific conditions, like after a certain number of turns has passed. It's a bit like how you control Fuka in Persona 3 Reload to fully analyze enemies. The downside to Persona 5's fixed skill and class system is that it limits flexibility, especially if you prefer sticking with a specific character. In the mainline Persona games, you could build characters like Mitsuru as either a magic damage dealer or a debuffer. But in P5X, characters are clearly designed for specific roles like healer, support, or attacker, and there's little room to deviate from that. If you want to adapt your strategy or playstyle, your only real option is to pull other characters through the gacha system. In other words, flexibility comes at the cost of luck or money. However, the 4-star characters in this game are actually viable in the endgame content and serve as a competent replacements for the 5-star units. And like most gacha games, the characters themselves are the magnet that attracts people to play the game. So what are the best and worst aspects of P5X character roster? In my opinion, Persona has always shined brightest through its characters, their design, the development, and how well they reflect and complement their personas. Thankfully, P5X carries on that tradition. Unlike many gacha games that lean heavily into waifu bait, P5X actually explores a broader range of character archetypes. You'll find older characters here like a mom and even a grandma, and there's a surprising number of male characters, more than you expect from the genre. The character designs are excellent, capturing each individual's personality in both subtle and striking ways. One of the most unique additions here is the Kidal system or the Phantom Idols. These characters, while playable, aren't actual Persona users. Instead, they're cognitive beings perceived by Wonder. Their abilities and personas are tied to their personal dreams or desire, the core theme of Persona 5 The Phantom X. For example, one character who dreams of becoming a hero has a persona styled like a Kamen Rider. The persona designs themselves are refreshingly bold. They deviate from traditional mainline Persona aesthetics while still aligning with the characters' personalities and lore in meaningful ways. While P5X does feature a good number of male characters, their release schedule leaves much to be desired. The male characters are often released far apart, and when they do drop, they tend to come out back to back. creating long gaps without any new additions. Another issue is the glaring 4-star drought reminiscent of Star Rail. Since the game's launch across the Chinese and Korean servers, only about 3 new 4-star characters have been introduced, which makes building a diverse team more difficult for casual players. But perhaps the most frustrating issue about this game is the power creep. As new characters are introduced, older ones quickly become outclassed, making it harder to stay competitive without constantly pulling for the latest releases. Power creep is always a concern, just as any Star Rail player with a struggling sparkle. This issue is made worse by the fact that many endgame challenges are clearly designed with the current banner character in mind, making power creep not just noticeable, but also unavoidable. That said, while P5X does have power creep, it's not nearly as severe as in Star Rail. One of the standout positives is that P5X actually buffs older characters, and these aren't just simple stat boosts, they also update animation, which is something you rarely see in other gacha games. Blackwing Studio even runs surveys asking players which characters deserve a glow up, showing a clear effort to keep the roster relevant. Now, if you're going to really commit to playing the game, know that gachas have a daily system, where you'll have to log in every day and complete certain tasks to earn some pool currencies. Other gachas will make sure that they are the only gacha game you play, even more obsessive than Yandere's. On the other hand, I favor gachas whose dailies can be completed in under 5 minutes, and Persona 5X is one of those gachas that doesn't really consume your entire calendar. P5X's dailies consist of consuming social activity points, which are similar to the slice-of-life activities you do in mainline games, like cleaning, studying, or working part-time. There's also errands which you'll send out specific characters on tasks, then receive awesome rewards. Farming materials is so easy. What really makes it convenient though is that the post-battle reward system after clearing a stage. You can choose how much energy to spend on rewards. So unlike Star Rail where you have to repeat the same fight 5 to 6 times, P5X lets you finish your daily grind in just 2 battles. But the worst thing about the daily farming in P5X is that it still has a stamina system. Thus, building character is quite a hassle. And if you're getting a bunch of them, especially at launch, then you should expect that it will take you a week to fully build them. So now that Persona 5 The Phantom X is finally going global, and after hearing all of this, are you planning to give it a shot? I've simply shared my experience with the game. I'm not here to convince anyone, but personally, I'm excited to dive in and enjoy Wonder's story properly this time around. At the end of the day, the most important thing is to be responsible in how you approach Persona 5X, because its combat is really fun, something that Persona 4 Remake should take notes on, since their turn-based system needs to be better than the original P4. If you're curious about that, then check this video out. Join Otaka Define for more Persona content. This is Maf, and stay awesome my dudes.